Okay, so I'm starting this video a little differently. And I apologise for that panting noise, but that is the German Shepherd in the background. There she is. It is a very, very hot day here in the UK, so yes, I apologise. But it's not too loud, so we'll continue. So I have decided to do this video in a different format. Normally I would just haul things, and then sometimes we forget to go back over them and say how we felt about them. So with this palette, because it was a Moondust shadow palette, and I've only ever swatched these in shops and I don't actually own them, I thought I would actually test them out and do a test run of them and use them before I actually did a full-on review of them. So this is kind of a haul, swatch and then review video rather than just a haul and swatch video. And I just thought I'd do that, like I said, because it's a new product to me and I don't think I can really comment just off swatches because I've not worked with these before. So, first of all I'm going to show you the palette and then I'm going to do some swatches. I'm going to do swatches on my hand, I'm going to do 2 rows of swatches I'm going to do with primer and without, and then I'm also going to do, because I think these remind me of Dazzle shadows from MAC, what I'm going to do is put a couple of ordinary eyeshadows down and use these as toppers over the top and see how that looks as well. So just to give you a couple of ideas about how these will actually look. Then I'll be playing around with it, and then the review at the end will have been filmed a couple of weeks after this. I actually just got this, it's actually just been released in the UK. This was released alongside the XX Vice Limited Reloaded palette, and I've actually shared that one. I shared loads of photographs of that one, but I decided to hold this one back and kind of, I don't know, I think I show pretty much everything on Snapchat and on Valisa and Instagram, and I just kind of wanted to hold this back for a change, and so that it was more of a kind of review and people really didn't know it was coming, if that makes sense. Now, the packaging is so beautiful. I love it. I would love this in like big pieces of cardboard so I could put it in the back of the bookcase. It would just look so beautiful. It's black with all these stars on that are kind of holographic. Really, really pretty box. And then on the back are your shades. They're all holographic as well. Really beautiful. And then it's nothing special inside. It's just plain black. So that's what it looks like. Retails for £35 in the UK. And the palette is absolutely beautiful. It's a hard plastic and it's very glittery, but when you rub it, no glitter comes off at all. So it's not like it's that kind of glittery surface where it's kind of packed on but then not sealed over. This looks like it's been all packed on and then they've sealed it over on top of it, and then that means nothing will come off. And then underneath is a mirror, underneath these cut out letters that say Moondust. So it's almost like a mirror, then loads of layers of glitter and then plastic over the top. It's really nice and sturdy and very pretty, and it just says Urban Decay at the top there. I think this is a part of their 20th anniversary release. Yes, it is. On the box it does say UDXX. So, on the back, just the ordinary sticker that you will always get, and then inside these are the shadows. Now you do get a nice full-size mirror up there. It's always the full size of the lid, so that's always very good. And these are the shades. Now I will tell you that in person they do look different than they do on camera. Camera just can't seem to pick up or handle all of the glittery goodness. They are so, so glittery. And I don't know, sometimes I've thought that the top shades, not the green, but these 3 shades didn't look very particularly nice. Sometimes on video I don't think they come off as quite as nice as they are in person, if that makes sense. But there are beautiful, beautiful shades in here. These are 8 new Moondust shadows, so these are not previously released Moondust shades. And yeah, they are really, really pretty. So let's go through what the colours are called. So we've got Spectre here, which seems to be, it looks like it's going to be kind of a champagne colour with pink overspray, kind of pink glitter content. Then we've got Element. That looks, it's very difficult. That's very, very packed with glitter. I think that probably is just kind of a pink with pink glitter in it. Then we have got Moon Magnetic. The writing's a bit squirrely and I'm trying to look past my camera. Magnetic. This looks like a purple with kind of aqua blue-green glitters in it. And then Light Year, which is green with green glitter. On the bottom row we have got Granite. That looks like it's probably going to be a little bit of a maybe kind of a taupey shade underneath. It's hard to tell, and it's kind of got that pewter silver kind of glitter in it. Then you've got Lithium, which is gold. That just looks like a darker gold with gold glitter. Then you've got Vega, which is this beautiful blue, which is just a blue with blue. And then Galaxy is just so stunning. It's very difficult to tell what that's going to be underneath, but it's got the most stunning green glitter, and it's very different to the green above. So I'm really excited to swatch that shade. So those are the shades, and we will now get on to some swatching. So I'm just swatching with this. It's the, is that upside down? The Urban Decay Original Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This just came with a palette, and I've just put that on this top half of my hand, ready to do some swatches. So this is the top row, and it swatches pretty much the same with or without primer, to be honest. There doesn't seem to be any difference whatsoever. The only difference I would say is I think that this one actually performed worse on primer, and that one is Magnetic. I think that is the one, it's got the least kind of glitter pigment to it, and it's a tiny bit patchy, so you'd need to layer it. But all of the other colours, they just seem to be, you know, pretty much the same. This has come out a little bit brighter without primer on it. Just a touch. But that's a really pretty colour. It's pink with kind of golds. And then you've got this beautiful, I knew the shade was going to be beautiful, swatched. And the green is, of course, my favourite. But these two colours really stand out for me, and I think that's going to be really pretty. It'd be nice on its own, but I think that'll be really nice packed over kind of an ivory shade or a champagne shade. So that's probably what I'm going to try that with. And I'm probably going to go with maybe a purple base for that one. But that is what the first layer looks like. I'm going to go straight into using shadows underneath the first layer to just kind of show you what they would look like packed on top of a colour. Now what I've done is I've gone straight to this because I knew that this would have the colours in that I wanted, and I've picked out kind of more of an ivory, pinky shade, a copper shade, a purple and a green. And those colours are, let's start with the first one. The first one is Looking Glass. Oh sorry, right frame. Looking Glass. The green shade is this one, which is Hotter. The purple shade is Gone Mad, and then the pinky sort of shade is this one, which is Solace and Grum. So you wouldn't have to use those, but I just think that they are really close matches. I'm kind of using a little bit of a pattern motion. That just kind of makes that quite glowy. I think that gives that one a little bit more depth. This one, I just feel like this one is quite a patchy one, but it definitely works well on top of that purple. And then the green also looks great. I mean, that looks great, but for me I would worry what it would look like once the glitter started to fall off. I just think sometimes when you put a shadow under something and then put that on top, then, you know, I think it just gives it just something else a bit more to cling to. But I think they're pretty much identical. So let's move on to the bottom row. I will say, in cleaning up between those, there are a lot of glitter particles everywhere. I think what you might want to do is use it and then spray your brush in order to make it stick to the eye, or have quite a sticky base underneath for you to apply to, so that you're not getting quite so much fallout. But I think you will get quite a bit of glitter fallout with these. Anyway, let's move on to the bottom row. Okay, this is the bottom row. The bottom row, I just knew this wouldn't disappoint. These colours are so beautiful. There's only one patchy shade, very, very slightly patchy, is the blue. I think you might need to just kind of pack that on a little bit, but the other three, I should say, are totally amazing. So you've got Granite first, and it kind of almost feels like that's definitely got a black base to it, with kind of pewter silver on top. The next shade is called Lithium. That looks like it's got a brown base with gold on top, kind of a warm brown as well. Then you've got Vega, which is that amazing blue, which just looks like it's got a blue base, like a dark blue with a blue cobalt glitter. And then you've got Galaxy. Galaxy is just something else altogether. It's kind of a plummy black underneath, I think, with the green on the top. These performed pretty much equal with primer and without. Lastability wise, the primer is probably going to keep them on that bit longer, but I don't think it kind of made a difference either way. They apply just the same on naked skin as they do on a primed base. So I'll try and pick out some shades for these to go on top of, put them along the top, and then we'll see what they look like on top of other coloured shadows. I also wanted to do a quick reference point just with a Dazzle shadow by MAC because they're very similar. I'm not kind of in colour changing, like in the way that some of these shadows have one coloured base then a different colour glitter, but just because it's a shadow with lots of glitter. And I've put Let's Boogie from Dazzle shadow alongside this one. I love Let's Boogie. It's black with silver glitters in it. The black is definitely a lot deeper than what's underneath this one, so you do get a stronger base in the Dazzle shadow, particularly in Let's Boogie. So if you're looking for like a black with lots of sparkles, I'd probably recommend that. But this is like just not quite as strong, so I'm definitely going to put a black under that one, I think. But that was just to kind of give you a reference point in that the Dazzle shadows, they're pretty on par with glitter. Of course, they're slightly less glittery than some of the more heavier shades, but I do have another couple of Dazzle shadows. So that's the Dazzle shadows underneath. In fairness, they're just as strong sort of base underneath them as the Moondust ones have. And these aren't permanent, they've been released in the Bang and Brilliant collection. So, yeah. If you just wanted to check out some kind of different colours, MAC does have some quite nice colours. I think they've just got a little bit more glitter content to them, but the Dazzle shadows, the glitters don't fall out. They're not as heavily packed, so they don't fall out quite so much. So if you like a glittery shadow like this, but you don't like all the fallout, then a Dazzle shadow might be something that you might prefer. Okay, for the shadows we're going to go on top of, I've used two things. I wanted a black, so I went for my Black in the Well shadow. I think that one's called Bag It. Bag It? I think it is. Or Beg for It. Beg for It. Okay. So this one's Beg for It. So that is the black that I've gone for. So that is that black there. It's very intense. And then I was going to go for this colour here, which is Chronosphere, but then I, at the end, just decided to go with Chessboard, which is the brown shade. Then the blue shade next to that is Bandersnatch, which is that blue shade there, and then that one is Time. So those are the four shades I've decided to go for, and then I'm going to put the other colours on top. Now I'm loving that granite colour on top of there. I really prefer that much intenser black base, but you've still got that huge amount of sparkle. So I think that's really, really pretty for that one. The next one, Lithium. Looks very pretty on top of that shade. Sticking with the warm kind of base as well. I'm excited to see the blue because, like I said, this blue seems just a little hint patchy. Oh, that is so beautiful. I know it's a different shade of blue. You could use a cobalt blue underneath, but I'm obsessed with this Bandersnatch colour. And I think that's really beautiful on top of that. And then Time is already a glittery shade, but we're just kind of relying on the dark base that Time has to take Galaxy to that kind of next level. That is Galaxy over that. And as you can see, that just makes, particularly for these colours, I think they are lovely, but that definitely gives them that real intensity. So you could go for this, it's a little bit more of a sheerer sort of colour, it's not quite as strong, or you could put a colour underneath them and make them really, really powerful. Now I'm loving that granite colour on top of there. I really prefer that much intenser black base, but you've still got that huge amount of sparkle. So I think that's really, really pretty for that one. The next one, Lithium. Looks very pretty on top of that shade. Sticking with the warm kind of base as well. Excited to see the blue, because like I said, this blue seems just a little hint patchy. Oh, that is so beautiful. I know it's a different shade of blue. You could use a cobalt blue underneath, but I'm obsessed with this Bandersnatch colour. And I think that's really beautiful on top of that. And then Time is already a glittery shade, but we're just kind of relying on the dark base that Time has to take Galaxy to that kind of next level. And that is Galaxy over that. And as you can see, that just makes, particularly for these colours, I think they are lovely, but that definitely gives them that real intensity. So you could go for this, it's a little bit more of a sheerer sort of colour, it's not quite as strong, or you could put a colour underneath them and make them really, really powerful. So that's it, those are the 8 shades. I think there is a nice colour pattern here. You've got some pinks, some purple, some blue, some green, then some more neutral colours with kind of your gold and your silvers. It's a really beautiful palette. If you don't like glitter, then it's not for you. If you don't like fallout, then it's not for you. If you don't like shadows that you need to work a little bit with to make them kind of really work and kind of be patient, so you know, you're willing to clean up that fallout, you're willing to pack it on, you're willing to maybe put a base colour underneath, then this is definitely for you. If you don't want to put all that kind of hard work in, then I would say just skip this. But I'm really impressed, and I definitely probably want to look into the original Moondust shadows now and see if there's anything now that I might actually like to try, because when I first watched that I was like, they're okay. But then I did get the Dazzle shadows from MAC and thought, actually I do really like these, and then now I've got these and I really love these. These are great for me. I like a nice glittery eye, I like nice strong colours. I do think that there's nothing too strong in here, so there's nothing that's going to be super duper bright that people who don't wear a lot of colour could be afraid of. I definitely think because they tend to have a little bit of a sheerer base and they're not quite as strong with their base colour beneath the glitter, I do think it does make them more wearable for people who don't really like too much colour. So I do think that they have kind of thought that through, in that it kind of can, you know, us girls who really love that colour and don't mind all the hard work involved, we will put something underneath it and then pack this on top, and yeah, it's very, very pretty. I do very much appreciate this shade here because it's something very different. I like it when they put in something that's really quite a nice unique colour. I do feel like whoever did this definitely kind of almost had the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette kind of still in their mind, because I do think that quite a few of these colours are quite reminiscent and just seem to be kind of like high amp versions of the ones in there, which is very much appreciated by me. And particularly this colour, there is like the highlight shade in the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it does have that kind of shift to it. So yeah, it's interesting. But there you go. That's what the colours look like. I will say, when I went to clean them off with the wipe, they are very difficult to remove, so I think that they will be pretty long lasting. But at the end of this video you will get to see me wearing a couple of these shades on my eyes while I actually talk about the palette itself and give it a review. And I will have been using them for a couple of weeks by that point, so yes, look, it's steaming up, it's so warm. So yeah, you will be able to kind of get my idea on what I'm thinking after I've been using it for a little while. So if you want to see what I'm thinking, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So if you want to see what I thought after using this for a few weeks, then please keep on watching. Now, so thanks for sticking around to the end of the video to kind of get a little bit of information on how I'm feeling about this palette after using it. I want to say I've had it about 6 weeks. I got it just after it had launched, but not on the Urban Decay site. I waited for it to launch on the Feel Unique site, and then there was a discount on, and I actually got like a double discount, because with Feel Unique you can register one product that you permanently get 10% off, and my nominated product is Urban Decay. So I generally wait for things to launch on Feel Unique and then get the 10% off, but at the time that I got it, it had 10% off as well, so I ended up getting that 10% off plus my 10% loyalty discount. So for anybody who hasn't seen it, where have you been? I'm sure everybody's seen this by now. Now for me, I wanted to tackle this review in a different way. I normally, when I get a palette, just kind of swatch it, do a video about it. I might have used 1 or 2 colours in a look that I did that day for the video, but for the most part it's just kind of like, this is it. I try to get videos out as soon as possible, as soon as I get the product, because then if you want to go and buy it, then you know, you can watch the video and kind of see. I watch a lot of kind of review videos before I purchase some things, just to kind of get the idea of swatches, how they perform, and just get a little bit of feedback on what people think. I just like to research things, especially when you spend it. I mean, this is £35 full price. I ended up getting this for, I think it was under £30. It was £28 or £29, which it's still pricey, but it was good. It was a good saving. So, talking about these actual shadows, the reason I think I was talking about this and I totally went off, see, I go off topic. So, the reason I wanted to do this review in a different way is because I have never tried the Moondust shadows. Yes, I know, gasp, shock, horror, you haven't tried something from Urban Decay. You know, I'm a huge Urban Decay fan if you've been with me for a while. But I'd never tried Moondust. And so this was my first experience with these, and so I wanted to do this in a different way. I wanted to use it before I actually fed back about it. Now I've done that, I definitely want to get some more of these shadows and get some of the previously released singles. And I have used every single colour in this palette now. Some of them I've used together in looks, some of them it's just been kind of what I've done today, which is one colour on the lid, and then a crease colour. And then I've become totally obsessed with this shade. This is Spectre. But that has become a total obsession with me, and I hope they release that as a single Moondust shadow. Even if I'm not using this palette for a look, I'm like, right, what do I want on my inner eye? I want Spectre. I'm totally obsessed. It's what I've got on today. It's it's not quite as in your face, even though these have a little bit of shimmer and glitter to them, obviously. It's the colour on your inner eye is not quite as in your face as like a bright shiny white colour, which I really quite like. And I have tried everything in this palette, and the only colour that I'm not a huge fan of is Magnetic, which is the purple one. It's the only one, I would say, that did not have amazing pigmentation. It's quite weak. Now, Urban Decay are famous for their purples, and I just feel that this kind of lets me down, this colour. It's very weak pigmentation, so the base colour that's underneath the shift and the glitter and the shimmer on top is actually quite weak, and I actually found that I needed to actually put that over a colour. Everything else in this palette I could use on its own. It gave really nice colour, and they are all really long lasting on the lid. I could wear this all day and I still had shimmer and glitter still left at the end of the day, which is really good. Magnetic for me was just the only dud shade in this palette, but like I said, if you put another colour underneath it, such as another purple, then put that on top and use it more as a topper, then it works perfectly. You've just got to be willing to kind of put a bit more work in with that shade. Everything else in here I absolutely love. But I do love the range of colours that are in here. I think we've got some really nice colours, colours for everybody really. And there's nothing that's like too bright, like there's not like a really bright chartreuse, there's not a really bright pink. It's actually all really very wearable. Now, as for application, you can apply these with a brush, however you will get a lot of fallout if you use a brush. They are glittery, they do have loose particles in them, and the way I found to best apply them if you're going to use a brush is to use a flat brush, a shader brush, or to use a brush that is actually designed to apply cream shadows. If you loaded that up and then pressed it on, then it was really good, and there was, you know, there was virtually no fallout. However, the way that I've been using these shadows is actually just using my finger, which is at the end of the video there is a little clip of me putting this eye look on. It's nothing very long. I know a lot of people don't really enjoy my makeup application type things. I know I'm not great at makeup, but it's not about that for me. But doing this channel and doing makeup is about really just me enjoying it. So, applying these with your finger is the best way for me, because when you rub your finger into the actual pan of shadow, you're actually kind of pressing everything onto your finger, and you don't get like all those loose bits. You're pressing it onto the pad of your finger, and then if you put it onto your eye and press it in, and then you can rub it a little bit, but once you press most of the product on, you actually get all of the glitter and the shimmer, and it looks really pretty, but you're kind of pressing it into the eyelid so that you're kind of pressing down those particles that otherwise might have kind of fallen out or flown out as you were applying them. But for me, when I'm using this, I generally just go for kind of either an opposite colour in the crease or a complementing colour in the crease. So for instance, using the blue, I used like a navy blue in the crease with that one. With the sort of slate coloured one, and this one here I actually used a black or a grey. But you can actually go opposite as well, because the other thing I did with this is I actually put kind of a plummy colour in with the blue, and I really like the way the two colours look together. So I'll put a standard, just ordinary shadow into the crease, which is what I've got on today. I've got Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. Put that into the crease and then put one of these on the lid. It is a very simple, very quick eye look, but it's really pretty because as this catches the light and as you move, it has that lovely shift to it, and it's just a really, really pretty eye colour. And this is my favourite look with this palette so far. I think that this colour element is just such a unique shade. It's kind of got like, it's very autumnal. It's got a lot of orange to it and coral, and then the shift on top of it is orange and pink. It's just really, really pretty, and I've been really obsessed with wearing that colour so much. So yeah, I really, really love this palette. Long story short, too late. I think it's an amazing palette. The packaging is really beautiful, and I'm now definitely going to invest in some singles. So if anybody else has single Moondust eyeshadows they really like and they would like to recommend them, please do comment them below, because I'm going to take a look and invest in some of the single shadows as well now. So that's it for the review part of the video. If you want to stay tuned and watch how I did this very simple eye look with Element and Spectre, then please do hang around. If you're not going to hang around, then I'll see you in the next video. So today I'm doing this simple look using two colours out of the palette. I have been wearing this look so much. I'm so sorry, the settings on this camera. So that's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe as always. I'm gonna love and leave you and see you all soon. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are and whatever you are doing. Bye.